Hello everyone, hope you're all doing great, and thank you for having me here in this international seminar on wildlife and the environment. So first of all, let me introduce myself. So I'm Daas Nesma abir, and I'm currently a PhD student in biology and health at the University of Baji Mukhtar Annaba, precisely at the Excellence Laboratory of Applied Animal Biology. So today we're going to be talking about a really interesting topic which covers a little bit of pyrethroid insecticides, of biological control agents, but more specifically I'm going to be talking about the investigation of the effects of a pyrethroid insecticide on a few environmental stress biomarkers of the non-target species. So as an introduction, the contamination of the environment in general and aquatic environments in particular is a growing source of ecological, socioeconomic, as well as health problems. Often due to agricultural activities, phytosanitary products are found within aquatic environments, causing a degradation of the quality of water and species. So the scientific community has become aware of the long-term effects of insecticides and pesticides on aquatic as well as terrestrial environments, which has pushed the agrochemical industry to develop alternative methods such as the use of biological agents or more selective molecules. And among these biological agents, we have got Gambusia affinis. A teleost fish is a biological control agent known to be the most effective against Calyx pipiens mosquito larvae. So basically what we want to do here in this study is to try to evaluate potential side effects of cypermethrin, which is a pyrethroid insecticide, on juveniles of Gambusia affinis by evaluating its toxicity and its impact onto environmental stress biomarkers. Let's move on to material and methods. So talking about the species Gambusia affinis belongs to the family of Facilitae, genus species Gambusia affinis. So our individuals were collected within a relatively clean site called El Karma, located in Annaba, a few kilometers away from El Hajar. So we conducted several acute toxicity tests by providing different concentrations of the insecticide cypermethrin in order for us to determine the lethal concentration 50, under which we exposed our individuals to measure the two aforementioned biomarkers. So we followed the method described by Elman 9061 to measure the specific activity of acetylcholinesterase, and for GST or glutathione S-transferase, so we followed the technique described by Habik 9074. Statistical analysis was performed using Graphite Prism software version 9, where we evaluated the mean and the standard deviation. So we used Kraskell-Wallis test and then post-hoc test to determine differences between treated groups at different times, but also Mann-Whitney test to determine differences between control groups and treated groups. And let's now move on to the most important part, being the results and discussion. So let's first talk about toxicological parameters. So we determined different parameters after an exposure of 96 hours of exposure, such as the slope, the confidence intervals, the coefficient of determination, but most importantly we determined the lethal concentration 50, which is of 2.196 nanograms per liter. As for environmental stress biomarkers, so let's first talk about acetylcholinesterase activity. So Kraskell-Wallis test determined a significant difference between treated groups at different times, while Dunn's post-hoc test determining which of these groups were the most significant, and then being those of 79 and 96 hours of exposure. As for Mann-Whitney test, so it also determined a significant difference between control and treated groups of 24, 48, 72, and 96 hours of exposure, with a p-value of 0.0079, just as you can see in the clear graphical illustration right in front of you. Moving on now to glutathione S-transferase activity. So Kraskell-Wallis test also determined a significant difference between treated groups at different times, while Dunn's post-hoc test determined once again 72 and 96 hours of exposure groups as the most significant ones. Meanwhile, Mann-Whitney test determined a significant difference between control and treated groups of 24 up until 96 hours of exposure, with a p-value of 0.0079, just like as you can see in the graphical illustration right in front of you. So in conclusion, we could definitely say that this insecticide or cypermethrin should not be used in freshwater areas where the species could be living due to its huge impact on environmental stress biomarkers, which was manifested by a decrease in acetylcholine esterase and an increase in glutathione transferase levels, and which will for sure later on have a huge impact on biological control against mosquitoes in general. And I thank you all for your kind attention.